God has chosen. I hope you guys can see what I'm saying. So look at verse 5. He tells us the fast he's chosen. Is it such a fast that I've chosen? The one you're busy with. Then he tells us what the fast is that he's chosen. A day for a man to afflict his soul. That's the day, or what God has said is a fast. Okay? He says it's a day for a man or a person to afflict their souls. He says, is the fast you're doing the afflicting of the soul that I spoke of? Is the fast you're participating in what it means to afflict your soul? And listen, guys, I know we struggle with some of these words because law and religion has defined terms like afflict your soul. And when we hear that, we think it's like some horrible thing. You know, we think that it's like, oh my gosh, I got to afflict my soul, as if it's like some painful, heinous thing. Afflicting your soul is not some painful, heinous thing. Afflicting your soul would be to come unto Jesus to have life. Afflicting your soul would look like you saying, I'm not going to lift one finger to give myself life. That sounds horrible, huh? Afflicting your soul would be, should a guy come and tell you, you must tithe some money to be blessed by God? Afflicting your soul would be to say, I'm not going to lift one finger to give 1 cent to be provided for by God. Now, does that sound real painful? You see, we don't need to abandon the terms in the Bible. We need to now come and define them by the mind of Christ instead of the law mind. We're not going to let the law mind now steal terms from the Bible. We're going to come and define them for what they really are. Afflicting your soul would be for somebody to come and tell you that you got to use your ability to do the fruit of the Spirit and not do the works of the flesh in order to be acceptable to God. And afflicting your soul would be, I'm not going to lift one finger to be acceptable to God because He's come and told me I'm acceptable to Him apart from anything I do. You've afflicted your soul. You guys see that? So he says, is this what you guys, this fast you're doing, is that the afflicting of the soul that I spoke of? You guys are abstaining from food. You're hanging your heads low. You're being very sorrowful for your sin as if that's what it means to humble yourself and go on a fast. But you have never rested from your own works to be blessed and have life. These guys were like Esau, that the letter of Hebrews speaks of. It says that Esau cried many tears desiring the blessing, but he never turned from looking to the strength of the flesh as being the foundation from where he could have the blessing of the firstborn. You see, he all the time wanted the blessing according to the flesh and according to him being the firstborn by the flesh. But the blessing of the firstborn isn't according to the flesh, it's according to grace. Meaning Christ is the firstborn and you're blessed through him. Esau never found a way to repent for that. Even though he cried all the time wanting the blessing, he never turned from wanting to be blessed through the strength of the flesh. These Israelites were busy with the same thing. They were just like Esau. They thought they were doing a fast. They were crying all the time. They were crying and trying to be mournful, wanting the blessing, coming to God and saying, don't you see what we're doing? Why aren't you blessing us? But they never found in their heart to turn away from their works. They never found in their heart to turn away from trusting in the strength of the flesh to have life and be blessed. And so now God starts breaking it down for them. Let me break down what a fast really is. The fast I've said is to afflict your soul. If you go and read Leviticus chapter 16, verse 29, do you know what it says about what a fast is? Or what it says about afflicting your soul? Leviticus chapter 16, verse 29. God describes what it means to afflict your soul, and he don't say nothing in there about abstaining from food. Okay? Look what he says. In Leviticus chapter 16, verse 29, he says, you shall afflict your souls and do no work. You shall afflict your souls and do no work. So he says, you shall afflict your souls, and the definition of what it means to afflict your soul is to do no work. It means to rest from your works. That's what it means to afflict your soul. All right? Well, God just said the fast he's chosen is that we afflict our souls. So you could say the fast God has chosen is that we rest from our works. Or the fast God has given, should you fellowship with that fast or participate in that fast, it will put you to rest from your works. It will put you to rest. You know, I used to think that I must rest through my own ability. When I first got into grace and I thought of rest, I still used my own ability to rest, where I tried to make myself rest. What I've realized, that there's a word that's come in the person of Jesus. And when you begin to behold that word puts you to rest. You know, like when I was a baby and it was time to go to bed. I didn't go to bed on my own. I cried and cried and cried, but my mom came and put me to rest. Do you see what I'm saying? I didn't put myself to rest. She picked me up. She rocked me. She fed me. She cuddled me. And that put me to rest. It's the same way with God. He doesn't come and command us to rest. He comes and releases a word into the earth that should a person feed on that word will cause them to rest. And so when God speaks of a fast He's chosen, He's talking about there's something that should you begin to behold this thing I'm talking about, it will cause you to rest from your works. And that's how you'll know you've been doing a fast. So if you're busy thinking abstaining from food is going to get you closer to God, listen, you're not resting from your works. You're actually trusting in your works. If you think abstaining from food is going to make God give you more, if you think that's going to make God bless you, if you think that's going to put a smile on God's face, listen, you're not busy with a fast, you're busy with your flesh. And you're actually not fasting at all. You think you're fasting because you think you're not eating physical food, but you're busy eating a whole mouthful of the flesh. And so then you're like the Israelites with the belly that's bulging out of the belt and the button. And I'm talking about a figurative belly, guys. Figurative belly, okay? You see what I'm saying? A figurative belly, okay?